Hello, everybody. So this gets very awkward, right? Because the episodes go live. I can't wait for people to join because then I'll be awkwardly like, oh, hi, just waiting for people to join. So I'm just going to go ahead, whether I'm alone on this live stream or it's one person who's joined me or it's 20 people all at once. Welcome to the Mpumi K Show. We are on episode number 4. Let me be honest with you. Last week, Tuesday, was the first episode, and I'm so happy that I knocked it down. On Wednesday, I had so much going on that I was just like, they'll understand if I don't come, right? But then I remembered this commitment wasn't just made to people, I made it to myself as well. And so I owed it to myself to make my reality or to make my dreams a reality. And so I couldn't ditch the show, I couldn't ditch the live episode because I wanted to honor that commitment. And on Thursday, my spirits were so high. I think I was still getting off the high of Wednesday, where I actually kept my commitment. And it was so great. On Friday, I was like, la, 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 la. What do I do with myself? Yesterday was a holiday. I relaxed, went to a gathering, and today is Tuesday, and it is the 4th episode. I'm gunning for 100 episodes consecutively. My aim is to go for 100 episodes, and that's going to take me 33 weeks. 33 weeks. So yeah, it's gonna be a mission, but that's what I'm aiming for. I was listening to a conversation Oprah was having with her co-author, who is Arthur Brooks, on a book they just wrote now, I think, about designing your life or the life of your dream, something like that. And what she said was that she was on the Oprah Winfrey talk show for 25 years and she never missed a day. I heard that and I thought, oh my goodness, 25 years. 25 years of going live Monday to Friday and not missing a day. If Oprah can do it, so can I. And so, on that tip of consistency, welcome to the Mpumi K Show. Alrighty. Today's topic is a very interesting one because it's very touchy. People don't like talking about money. People don't like talking about their salaries. People just love it. People just love being hush. And by people, I mean mostly women. Men are okay with disclosing how much they earn to each other. They're even okay disclosing how much they earn to us women. But some of us, we're just like, yo, I'm making that amount. And I learned that doing that is actually so detrimental to you because you do not know how. Oh, I love this comment so much. I'm going to read it just now. You do not know what to go into the negotiating or the negotiation room with, right? Because you don't know what the ballpark is, you don't know what your peers are making, and so you get blindsided, you get robbed, and that's problematic. So I really wanted to be so comfortable about making money, about managing money, about growing our money, and about knowing how much is earned and how much can be earned so that we can make tons and tons of money. So today we're talking about how to catch up to your peers salary wise, okay? Let me just read this comment by Unomnigelo Mlombi, and she says, "It is my first time watching your episode. Thank you for joining." And she's at work at OR Tambo International Airport. What? You know what? If that's where you work, I promise you, one of these good days, we will bump into each other because the globe, the international stages are calling my name. All right, I'm putting it out into the universe. I'm just praying about it, and I'm really praying that we bump into each other when I am there checking on terminal. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, let's hop right into it because I don't want these introductions to be long and boring, and you end up yawning. I'll catch the replay, and you don't catch the replay. Let's hop right into it. So, I don't know who of you on this live have ever heard me talk or refer to myself as having been a poultry professional. I don't mean poultry chicken, no, like Paltry, poultry professional. I don't know how many of the live stream have, but those who haven't, I'm going to give a definition. And this definition I'm going to give in the context of what I believe are the 4 levels or the 4 types of professionals. Okay, so poultry professional is right there at the bottom. A poultry professional is someone who's not outstanding or worthy of any mention or promotion. So this is somebody who does the bare minimum, does work, but is not outstanding and is not exceptional. So if they were to hand out promotions, not handouts, if they were to put up promotions, they wouldn't even get considered because they just don't meet a standard. Okay. So at some point, I was a poultry professional. I was there working because I could, because I studied, because I've got the brain, but I wasn't outstanding. I wasn't shooting the lights out. And listen, even when promotions were going around, nobody would throw my name out there because there was nothing special about me or the work that I was doing. Poultry professionals normally earn anything between 0 and 35,000 Rand. And I know somebody's like, what? Are you equating me to somebody who earns 2,000 Rand? As long as you are a poultry professional, you earn anything between 0 and 35,000 Rand. And if we're being honest, in this economy, in this day and age, that amount of money really doesn't get you far. It doesn't really do much for you. The least you can do, or the most you can do, is pay your bills, whether that be a car or a home, your groceries, your cosmetics, and all the other things, insurance, electricity, water, and all those things. And if you get to save, it's very, very little. So that's what a poultry professional is, right? The second level of professionals is a proficient professional. This is somebody who's competent or skilled in doing or using something. And if you're thinking, where did she get these levels? I designed this thing, I created these 4 levels, so you won't get them on the internet. You better tune in and listen, write notes if you have to, okay? This is something that was my ideation. A proficient professional, as I said, is competent or skilled in doing or using something. Now, somebody who's competent, somebody who's probably a professional engineer, PREng, or a certified whatever, or somebody who's got experience under their belt, they are very competent and they're skilled in what they do. These people normally earn anything between 36,000 Rand and 36,000 Rand, yes, and 70,000 Rand. So they are good at their jobs, and because of that, they get the amount of money that they get, right? And then we move to a pundit professional. Now, a pundit professional is an expert in a particular subject or field, and they are somebody who is frequently called upon to give their opinions to the public. I know a lady that I absolutely admire, whose work and mind I absolutely love. And I know every now and again she has slots on Talk Radio 702. So she's a pundit professional. She is an expert in a particular field, and more often than not, she gets called upon for these gigs. So this is somebody who, whenever there's an insert on a talk show, for example, they are called upon. They can be a doctor or a journalist or whoever, but they are normally called upon to share their expertise. These people earn anything between 71 and 100,000 Rand. Now, you're probably listening to this and thinking, Kosiam, ngalo 25,000 Rand, ngiyofika nini ka 100,000. Listen, there is a shortcut that I'm going to share with you, and you're going to love it. So that's the first, second, and third levels, right? Or types. The final level or the final type is the purpose practitioner. The purpose practitioner is a professional who is actively engaged and is excelling in any profession, art, or discipline that is aligned to their purpose. So we've got our poultry professional, who I was, in all honesty, and you get your proficient professional, your pundit professional, and then your purpose practitioner, which is where I'm trying to get everybody and their mama and their granddaddy and their auntie too. I'm trying to get everybody to be a purpose practitioner, because these people earn above 100,000 Rand, and it's 100,000 Rand every month. I'm not talking about CTC. Annually, no, I'm talking about every month. These are people who make multiple six figures, not because they are favored or not because they passed the brown envelope, no, but they are engaged in work or career or profession or art or discipline that is aligned to their purpose. And that's where the magic is. They are operating in their zone of genius. They are operating in their purpose sweet spot where they are doing what they love in the service of those who love what they do. And these people aren't just entrepreneurs, they are corporate professionals, they are NPO runners, or I don't know, what do you call somebody who owners? They are in the creative space. They are in full-time ministry. Yep, you heard me right. They are in academia. These are people who are excelling, not just engaging, because yes, they're engaging in work aligned to their purpose, but they are excelling in that work. And therefore, because they are offering so much value to the world, they are getting so much value back as a return. Now, I told you about a shortcut. There is a universe, or there is a way where you don't have to stay stuck on being a poultry professional or being a proficient professional or being a, what's the other one? A pundit professional. And when we get to pundits and professions, people might make the mistake that because I'm doing so well and earning so much, that means I'm in my, I'm in my zone. No. There's absolutely nothing wrong with, and this is the thing with me, right? Personally. So I remember when I was still in high school and I would take those psychometric tests, I would get so frustrated with the results because the results would say, oh, her English comprehension and her English comprehension and ability to communicate is very good. Her mathematical acumen is very good. Her the patterns, because there was also another one of patterns and general knowledge, also so good. She can excel in everything she does. Really? Do you think that's what somebody in grade 10, grade 11, grade 12 wants to hear? I'm trying to find out, should I be a lawyer or should I be a social worker? Should I be an engineer or should I be a professional speaker? Just give me direction. But the curse of being so good at a lot of things, and I'm a person who applies myself 100% and very well. The curse then becomes that if I set my mind to something, I will shoot the lights out in that thing. The mistake there, though, is thinking that because you're so proficient, because you're a pundit, because you're so good, that is where you belong. I don't know if you know this, but when I graduated from Wits, I graduated on the dean's list. This is the top 10% of students in the entire faculty of engineering and built environment. Someone might look at that and say, you are top 10% of how many students? You have found your groove, you have found your jam, you are where you belong. But no, sowing and reaping, cause and effects. I would engage in the work. I would study. I'd make sure I understand. And when it's exam time or assignment time or test time, guess what I'm doing? I'm regurgitating and applying exactly what I learned. And so it's no surprise when the results come back and they say I've done well because I've been studying. So just because you're planting a seed somewhere and it grows because it's exposed to water and sunlight and nutrients, it does not mean you were supposed to plant that seed. It doesn't mean that seed was supposed to be planted there. So people really get, and you probably heard of golden handcuffs, right? People who are getting paid so well that it's very difficult for them to move out of either toxic environments or work they truly know they've got no business doing. But because the pay is so good, the benefits are so good, unlimited personal time off is so good, they get shackled by these golden handcuffs. But you know what happens? And I had this conversation with a friend of mine, with a couple of friends of mine, and they were saying, no, people get comfortable when they get paid a lot of money. And I said, that's lies. That is a lie. They don't get comfortable, they get consoled. They get consoled one day, in the 20 days, 20 or 25 days that they work, and then they think they're comfortable. No, there's a whole lot of discomfort, because what happens when you're out of purpose is that you keep getting that nagging. Mpumi, you're not where you're supposed to be. You keep getting the nag. You keep getting the tug. You keep getting the knock. It keeps becoming so uncomfortable. So they are very uncomfortable. Nobody who's not a purpose practitioner is comfortable at their work or in that environment. They are just consoled. It takes one day where they pump that amount of money into your account, and you're like, it's worth it. And then the debit orders, the debit orders deal with you, and then you're back into the cycle of toxicity, of feeling depressed, of feeling out of place, of feeling misaligned, of wanting change, of wanting to do better, of knowing that you can do better and are called for better. The cycle then continues. But on the 20th, if you're working in a bank, on the 25th, if you're working at any other professional service, on the 30th, if you're in any other industry, pump up the accounts again and you're consoled. So nobody who's not a purpose practitioner is comfortable in doing work they don't like. They're just consoled. And I hope you're not one person who is thinking that they're comfortable with the salary. Meanwhile, you're just being consoled. You work, you get paid. Whereas in the world of purpose practitioner, you work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. You work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. It's wonderful. Now, right now, I want to let you know that the way you can catch up to your peers, and you probably figured it out already because you're smart. I'm not talking to crutch kids. I'm talking to proficient professionals. I'm talking to pundit professionals. I may also be talking to poultry professionals, but you're professional nonetheless. You are brilliant. And so you've already figured it out that if you want to catch up to and even overtake your peers, you need to become a purpose practitioner. And here's why. Purpose propels your prosperity. You can try getting another skill or job hopping or doing this or getting another certification or you can try all those things, but what will truly propel your prosperity is purpose. And here's why. When you're in your purpose, you are ambitious. Now, I don't need to tell any one of you about ambition because a lot of my audience are ambitious professionals. You know what you want and you go for it. When you are in your purpose, because you see things that other people don't see, and not that you're schizophrenic or you are delusional, no. Your eyes are open to so much because you are finally operating according to your design, right? Because you're finally optimizing your design, you are seeing environments and spaces and people that can be impacted and influenced and given value by what you've got to offer, by your particular design. And so that's what happens, right? You are highly ambitious. And I was thinking, as I was preparing this, I was thinking about how in any ordinary capitalistic system, we've been taught this thing of climbing the ladder. Now, guys, a ladder, and I hope this word is right. A ladder is unilateral, right? Unilateral meaning it goes in one direction. If you're not climbing the ladder, you're going down the ladder, but it goes in levels. You're first at level 1 or step 1, and then step 2, and then step 3. It's unilateral. Whereas in your purpose sweet spot, you are not concerned about a ladder because you realize that there are many legs. And not just you have to climb one step, now you are analyst. Oh, you're graduate, then you are an analyst, and then you are a manager or senior analyst, a manager, a head. It's not a ladder. You realize that they are tentacles like an octopus, they are legs. So when you're ambitious, right, the ladder, especially when you're in your purpose sweet spot, the ladder gets replaced by the legs. And what I mean by this is you realize God has gifted me with so much. There's no reason why I should focus on just one thing. And so you try your hand at that. And not because I've heard things, oh, jack of all trades, but master of none. Listen, we've got capacity. I want you to imagine the man who was given 5 talents by their master. Remember that parable? The man who was given 5 talents by their master. This man went to use those 5 talents and multiplied them. So they don't let people discourage you into thinking, oh, if you master a lot of things, if you're a jack of all trades, you can't master anything. If you focus on too many things, you can't excel at rubbish. If you are diligent and you've been gifted with so many talents, using those talents will multiply those talents. And so that's what I mean by leg, right? You realize I can stretch my one leg there and actually do very brilliantly in. I can even stretch my leg there and do brilliantly at that. And then you realize that position really doesn't matter to you. That acceleration in terms of being valued according to a grade or a system really doesn't matter to you. You don't care about whether you're a manager or an analyst or a specialist. You don't care about those things because you are applying yourself fully. So whether the world recognizes it or not, you know that you're being fully filled. Remember, fulfilled because you are fully filling, right? So when you are in your purpose sweet spot and when you're a purpose practitioner, you are highly ambitious. You go for the highest thing and you apply yourself at the highest level because you can, because you are called to, because you realize that whatever your hand finds to do, you need to do it with all your might. You realize that once you die, there's no afterlife. There's nothing you can do with all your knowledge and your skills and your gifts. So you apply yourself fully in this because you also realize that having a purpose means you are a partaker alongside God in the work of his kingdom. So that should give you such an honor and such a pride to say, geez, a sinner like me is being entrusted with this. Clearly, this God trusts me. Clearly, this God sees something in me. And that forces you to rise up and show off and show out ambition. The next thing you realize when you're a purpose practitioner is that you have intrinsic excitement. You guys, sometimes things happen, right, that make me want to just sleep and, oh, I don't want to do this. But because I love coming to you every afternoon to speak to you, because I love imparting my knowledge, because I love being on a stage, because I love influencing people's minds, whether it's through coaching or teaching or whatever, I love doing this. I'm excited about it. Whenever I see a client buy a course of mine or sign up for a program of mine, it fills me with so much excitement because not only am I doing what I love, but I'm doing something I absolutely believe in. So I'm not just excited that I'm doing work that excites me. I'm excited because I know that somebody's life is about to change. I'm excited about doing these live episodes because I know that even if one person goes out of this having changed their mind about something or having learned something, committing to something, applying it and seeing results on it, their lives are going to be changed. So my excitement is really because I am changing lives. And when you are in your purpose sweet spot, that is what the excitement is about. You realize you're not doing this in vain. You realize you're not just doing this to get money in your pockets, but because someone is going to see it and their lives are going to be changed. That's what happens in your purpose sweet spot. What started off my business, or the cornerstone verse of my business, was Ecclesiastes 3 verse 22. This verse says, then I perceived that nothing is better than that a man finds joy in his work, because that is his heritage. I looked up the definition of heritage, and the archaic definition of heritage is your allotted portion, your individual possession. So when I learned that it is my allotted portion, it is my portion. It is for me. It is a gift. It is a heritage for me to find joy in the work that I do. I thought, why would I not tap into that joy? It's like if you were left behind an inheritance and you don't use it because you don't even realize it's there. When I realized the inheritance and the privilege and the heritage that I have in finding joy in the work that I do, I could not turn back. I realized that the only place I can find joy in the work that I do is that place where I am experiencing, where I'm doing what my purpose requires me to do. That purpose sweet spot where I'm not only doing work I love, but I'm doing work I love for those who love the work that I do. You know what I mean? And so the excitement then came from the fact that, or the excitement comes from the fact that I love the work that I do. It is my heritage to do so. It is my allotted portion, my individual possession. It is mine. It is mine. And I love free things. I love being given things. I love it when I'm just given something by virtue of breathing. And I've been given a purpose by virtue of breathing. And why not pursue that and experience the joy that is for me to experience? Think about that for yourself. The next thing is, when you are a purpose practitioner operating in your purpose sweet spot, you are innovative. Innovative. You are creative. I found myself being run on the mill when I was in corporate, right? I was just annoyed at almost everything because I couldn't come out with anything. I couldn't come up with, especially in that role that I was in. I couldn't come up with anything because it didn't connect with me. It wasn't aligned to my core. Hi, bo, ngapha in my business. In my business, the things I was doing, the things I was saying, I was highly innovative. And here's why. What I do with my clients in Purpose to Profession is that in the very beginning, we go through an audit of their lives, right? And they're able to see traces in their lives that were signals for their purpose, right? And in the beginning, they're like, oh, this is so much work. Oh, this is so grueling, or whatever, whatever. They don't see the connections. But when we continue on to the next thing, which is their gifts, they're like, okay, so I've got this gift. Wow. No wonder I'm able to do this. Oh, no wonder this is easy for me. And I'm like, are the lights starting to come on? All right. And then the next thing I make them do is a strengths assessment. And the beautiful thing is, whether they were intentional about it or not, there is always a link between these strengths and these gifts. Because here's what happens. Everything is connected, guys. If you are in a job that you don't like and that you hate and that you think is toxic, miserable, listen, none of it is a waste. What's going on in your life right now is that you are being prepared for your prime. Nothing has been a waste of your time. All along, you've just been preparing, or you are being prepared for your prime, right? And so what happens is these gifts are what God has already given you to enable you for your purpose. These strengths are what has been wrought in you, or what has been developed in you by virtue of your life experiences, your professional experiences, your spiritual experiences, and experiences that you didn't even realize you were going through. So, what God has put in you and what your experiences and your life have then cultivated in you come together, and you see a link between these things, and you're like, oh, okay. And then I say in the next module, guys, now we're doing your purpose story. Then they're like, okay. So suddenly, the strengths and the gifts and the background all come together. Another thing I make them do is a skills audit, where I make them narrow down their skills from the things you are skilled at, those that you love and enjoy, and those that you can get paid for. And then they realize, oh, all right. And my clients love module 3 because it is the strengths assessment. And I think what they love above that is because I say, now from these 5 core strengths, how can we turn those 5 core strengths into 5 streams of income? And who doesn't like extra money? Who doesn't like using something they are good at to make good money? Guy, five times over. So the reason you're so innovative is because you are using your skills, you are using your strengths, you are using your gifts, and nothing gets left behind. So instead of focusing on a traditional career trajectory, you have a career portfolio where nothing is neglected. You are able, and you even feel okay with using all your gifts, all your strengths, all your skills, all your talents to serve the world and serve yourself. Make yourself happy, glorify God, and make good money. The next thing you realize that when you are in your purpose sweet spot, when you are a purpose practitioner, you you are open to opportunities. You are open to opportunities because you network better. Let me tell you something, and I'm laughing because something is coming to mind. You guys know that I was in corporate, right? And I was in a role and position I didn't like as a product development specialist. What happened was when I fully came out, right, as the person who's great on stage and who's a thought leader and stuff like that. So when I started doing interviews on stage and I started hosting annual results and things like that, people were stunned by the person they were seeing. They were just like, "Are you the same girl who sits on ground floor? Oh, wait. Are you the same girl who used to sit on the first floor in 2018 and 2019? That shy, reserved girl." It's not that I was shy or reserved. I was not in my purpose. And so I felt like I've got nothing to contribute. There's nothing innovative in what I'm about to say. So networking for me was horrendous. It was hard. I didn't like to do it. Number one, I'm already an introvert. And people who see me live and doing these things are like, introvert, no way. I am. I'm such an introvert. My social bundles deplete so quickly. But not when I'm doing the work that I'm doing, right? And they would say I will, but I found it really difficult to network. I still do. Well, I still do sometimes, but I'm so much better at it because whenever I open my mouth, guess what I'm talking about? Whenever I come off stage and people interact with me, because of the things I've said, the conversation is very easy and I come alive and I'm able to make new networks and grow my network because I am in my zone of genius. And so networking is not difficult. When somebody says, "What do you do?" I'm able to tell them with ease. What does that mean? Oh, I go into it. I tell them how I can benefit their corporation, how I can benefit them. It's easy. I can ask them questions as well. I'm free. I don't feel like a fraud. I don't feel like hiding because you're gonna ask me, "So what do you do as a specialist?" And I'm like, "Yo, what do you think about what's happening in the market? Yo, hey, what do you think about this product?" Yo, I feel like hiding because none of it connects to me. But this work connects to me. And so I can easily, when somebody says, "So what's happening in the landscape of whatever, I can tell them. As far as it relates to the work that I do, oh, listen, we can go on and on and on and on and on. Another thing is that you're able to position yourself, and that's why opportunities come to you. That's why you're able to see opportunities, well, because you're able to articulate what you do. You understand the value of what you do. You understand the people who are going to benefit from what you do. It's easy to position yourself. Your messaging is clear. Your mission is clear. Your offering or your value proposition is clear. And so everyone who approaches you for something that you're not good at, you're able to say, "No, that's not within my scope of work." But everyone who sees the work you do comes to you because they realize the value that you can add. And so opportunities naturally gravitate to you. Your bio is optimized because you're very clear on what you do. When somebody says, "Give me a proposal," you just drop it on their lap because you're clear on what you do. Your value proposition is solid. So what happens when you're able to position yourself? And this is something that I always help my clients with in the beginning, in the middle, and towards the end of the program to say, I need you to be able to give me your purpose story from start to finish, but also be able to give me your purpose statement succinctly. I tell you, I'm Mbonane, a purpose alignment strategist. That means I am the expert that professionals turn to when they want to pivot into careers that are fulfilling, that have more impact and more income by aligning their purpose to their profession. I've told you who I work with, ambitious professionals. I tell you the process I take them through, the discovery of their purpose and the aligning of that purpose to profession. I tell you what the outcome is, what the value is. You are able to pivot into a fulfilling career with more impact and more income. Succinct. When corporates come to me, I tell them that I am the expert, I'm the consultant that you turn to when you want to stop the talent drain or the talent bleed and the profit drain in your organization by finally addressing the cost of your professionals being, or your employees being in roles that are misaligned to their purpose. It's very clear. They know that they want to up their profits. They know that they want to retain their top talent. And so what do I do? What is my thing? You need to sort out the issue of misalignment. And I go in there, that is my value proposition. So I need you to be very clear on your value proposition. Your positioning needs to be very clear. I drill this into my clients a lot. When they start putting content out there, I'm like, it needs to be very clear who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Your people need to know the transformation. Whether your people are people who are going to get into your business, or whether these are people who are corporate organizations who hire you and say, why should you be the person we hire? I don't want you to say, I work well under pressure. I'm a hard worker. That is cliche. I want you to tell them exactly what your purpose is. I want you to tell them exactly what your value proposition is, why they would miss out if they did not hire you. Not because you can click Excel in a way that 500 people can. They don't care about that. They care about what is the transformation our organization will experience because you are in it. What is the transformation that our clients and our customers will experience because you are either developing products for them, or you are selling to them, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is you're doing, because you're designing for them, because you're on the other side of the call, because you're there. How is our organization going to be transformed? How are our clients going to be better served? You get what I'm saying? And when you are great with positioning, that comes very easy for you. That becomes very easy for you. Another thing is thought leadership, right? When people see the things you say and the things you do, and how you are pundit about the work that you do, opportunities easily come to you. And finally, delivery. When you keep your promise and you deliver exactly what you said, opportunities will come because people will talk, right? They'll say, yo, Mpumi, she did really well in this. She was an amazing MC. She was an amazing coach. She really helped me with this. So the better you get at delivery, the more opportunities will come. People will refer you. That's just how the world runs, right? And finally, I want to say that when you are in your purpose sweet spot and you are a purpose practitioner, there is a certain uniqueness about you, and you just can't be missed. They will always say, "Bakhona Mpumi lana ne, kundlule uMpumi lana," because of what you said and what you've done. It's got your your watermark, it's got your signature, it's got you written all over it. But when you're not in your purpose, you get easily mistaken for other people because nothing is unique about you. Nobody has got the purpose that I've got. There are people who help people reach their potential or realize their gifts. I've heard of nobody who does the work that I do the way that I do that, because nobody is me. My purpose is unique. It could have different variations of people who say, "Oh, I'll help you discover your purpose," but nobody has my framework. Nobody has the blueprint that God gave me in April of 2018. Nobody's got it. Well, except for the clients that I've taken through my program, they know it. But still, even if they chose to steal it, they could never deliver it like me, because there's a uniqueness about me. There is a special anointing around me. There's a special anointing on me. Can I tell you something? There is a special anointing on you too. But you will never tap into that as long as you are satisfied with being a poultry professional, with being a proficient professional, with merely being a pundit professional. You are only going to access that anointing or see it play out 100% if you become a purpose practitioner. And that's the invite I have for you today. I want you to be a purpose practitioner, and I'm not asking you to do it alone. I am a purpose alignment strategist. That is the work that I do. I turn mere professionals, or poultry professionals, or proficient professionals, or pundit professionals into purpose practitioners. How I do that, or how I can help you become that, is through my program, Purpose to Profession. The final cohort, or the final iteration for this year, is happening in October, November, December. But this week, the final week of September, I am enrolling the clients that I'm going to take through the experience and the program in October, November, and December. Again, like with every other time when I do these lives, I'm going to leave a link where you can get onto the page, read what the program is about, read about the benefits of the program, read who the program is for and who the program is not for, and what you stand to gain by going through these 3 months with me, and what the next 6 months, year, 6 years, decades of your life can look like when you become a purpose practitioner. Purpose to Profession is the only program that mind blowingly helps you discover your purpose and gives you a step-by-step guidance or blueprint on how to turn that purpose into a profession or a career and thrive in it. It is 12 modules that are done over 3 months. In the first month, we do the discovery piece of the program, and I've already told you what those steps are, right? And in the second month, we then do the alignment piece. You never have to figure anything out on your own. I am there as a coach. I am there as somebody you can consult because this is my area of expertise. I am brilliant at this. We help you choose whether you are going to get into corporate, or whether you're going to start a business or start an NPO, or go into academia, or go into the creative space, or into the NPO space. I help you make that decision and I help you set it all up. And in the final month, then we see how you can thrive. We give you all the tools to thrive, how you can put your work out there, how you can be seen as the brilliant purpose practitioner that you are, and how you can make exceedingly abundantly above and beyond the money that you can only make in your profession. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to be wealthy. And I have found, I am 100% convicted and convinced that the only way we will build unimaginable wealth, experience unpretentious joy, and unprecedented fulfillment, and the only way we can impact this world greatly is if we align our purpose to our profession, and that becomes what we do every day until we die. I don't want to retire because why do I want to stop doing exactly what I was created to do? But anyway, I really invite you onto the program. You will love it. I have not come across any of my clients who haven't loved it. Those who didn't love it is because they didn't want to do the work and they were scared and they just didn't believe that they are called to greatness, and they allowed their limiting beliefs and their fears to cause them to quit and to cause them not to follow through. I know that won't be you because if I know something about you, you are highly ambitious. So join me. Use the link that I'm going to put up and set a discovery call with me, a consultation call with me, where I get to understand you as a person and what you want to get out of the program. So that when we start the program, you and I are on the same page. I'm not talking to a stranger. I'm talking to someone whose experience I know to some degree and somebody who trusts me because they also understand my experience and what I have to offer them. This was lovely. Thank you for tuning in for episode number 4. Tomorrow we're doing episode number 5. But the only difference is that we're going to do a lunch and learn. My big sister is graduating tomorrow. Okay, sorry. My big sister's graduating tomorrow in the evening, so I'm not available tomorrow evening. But join me for a lunch and learn at 12 p.m. So lunchtime, 12 to 1. Let's gather together for episode number 5 and let's have a good time like we have yesterday. Oh, like we had today. Oh, let's twist again like we did at summer. Bye, guys. Love you loads. I'll see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Okay. Cheers.